14 years later, Jonah Hill's 22% RT box office bomb is finally finding success to in 2011. Jonah Hill starred as a babysitter in a dark comedy where he was tasked to take care of 3 children for one night. Following a familiar premise, the sitter teased all the right elements for an entertaining watch: an iconic comedy figure, an unlikely ensemble, and an awkward situation. Directed by Halloween's David Gordon Green, the movie came out the same year as Bridesmaids, 50 or 505, and Midnight in Paris. But unlike the other comedy films, it failed to captivate fans in the way the studios had hoped. The Sitter was a flop at the box office and soon was buried in history. 14 years later, the movie seems to have been rediscovered by today's audience with the help of streaming services. The forgotten movie by the Wolf of Wall Street star found itself ranking high among some of the most popular films today. The Sitter was a commercial and critical failure. In 2011, The Sitter only made $38.6 million at the box office in 2011 against a production budget of $20 million. The dark comedy was considered a financial failure because it would have to make around $50 million just to break even. On top of that, the movie didn't earn any applause from critics either. With a 22% critical score on Rotten Tomatoes from 111 reviews, nearly 4 out of 5 critics wrote a negative review rather than a positive one. The Guardian only gave the movie 1 star and warned those who planned to watch it in theaters to avoid. Observer called it hugely dislikable, and Screen Rant recommended parents who were hoping for a memorable night out to give their babysitters a night off and stay at home instead. The movie was harshly criticized, and fans didn't defend it either. Many who watched the film sided with the critics and strongly advised those who didn't to avoid it at all costs. Even 14 years later, The Sitter is still sitting at a 39% approval rate among fans. It almost seems that most would agree that this forgotten Jonah Hill movie is far from his best work. Revolving around a night working as the world's worst babysitter, The Sitter follows Hill's Noah, a college dropout who reluctantly agrees to babysit 3 kids so that his mother can meet up with a new man. However, a phone call from his girlfriend soon turned the night into an endless journey of bad, worse, and worse decisions. Noah took the kids out to get drugs for his girlfriends, driving their mom's minivan. From getting cocaine from a dealer to robbing a jewelry store and blowing up a bathroom, Noah's night only got wilder with 3 kids in his care. Painting a parent's worst nightmare, The Sitter didn't see Noah becoming a better caretaker until the very end. Noah was hardly there to take care of anyone. His existence had only one purpose, and it was for the kids to survive a night of danger and terror. The Sitter kept the audience on the edge in the wrong way, having them worried about the kids while being thoroughly shocked by how much worse their journey could get. Near the end, when the audience finally had a chance to catch their breath, the movie managed to deliver some heartfelt lines about life lessons for both Noah and the kids, as if it could make up for all the trauma that it makes sense for critics and the majority of the audience to widely dislike the movie. The premise of The Sitter, about a babysitter taking 3 young children to fetch drugs for his girlfriend, is absurd and highly inappropriate. Some even argue that Hill, who is known for playing Everyman in various comedic settings, should have passed on the role. Noah, unlike Hill's more notable roles, like Donnie in The Wolf of Wall Street, Seth in Superdad, and Schmidt in 21 Jump Street, is a highly unlikable figure. While his heart is in a good place, it's hard to like someone who would put 3 kids in danger the way he did. Noah is an irresponsible 20-something living with his mother and refusing to get a job, and the journey with 3 young children didn't prove him otherwise. The 3 children, who are each introduced as difficult and quirky, give fans very little to connect to. While the movie did manage to include some good qualities to make the characters appear more balanced, it emphasized their less appealing traits purposely for comedy's sake. This resulted in unlikable characters. Even as a protagonist, Noah received similar treatment. To make sense for a chaotic night, Noah was depicted as the last person a parent would want their kids to hang out with. The rest of the characters in the movie didn't receive better treatment either. Noah's girlfriend was ungrateful and selfish, who was using Noah for his perks, while Noah's new love interest was a shy girl with little personality. It's hard to find any likable character in a movie, and it almost seems that the movie relied on depicting characters in a negative way for humor. The Sitter is trending on HBO Max, but does it make a better movie? The Sitter has surged on HBO Maximum. The movie was added to the streaming platform on September 1st, along with a list of notable classic movies that include Goodfellas, *7EN, and Misery. The reintroduction sparked fans' interest. As a result, Many have rediscovered the forgotten 2011 comedy. Even 19 days after its arrival on HBO, the movie still has a place on the streaming chart. The Sitter is among the top 5 most popular movies on the streaming platform, and the unexpected surge of interest does lead to a fascinating new development. While many recent reviews on Rotten Tomatoes mirror the same sentiments from fans in 2011, giving it 1 star with complaints of the poorly written plot and lack of original humor, the movie also gained some positive reviews. Many managed to have a good time 14 years later, calling the movie hilarious and entertaining. Interestingly, The Sitter hardly received any 3-star reviews. It seems that fans either had a fabulous time or they largely disliked the movie. The Sitter's reception is more divisive than ever. The Jonah Hill forgotten movie isn't for everyone. While the life lesson scenes at the end may be cringy for some, it does satisfy and conclude the movie. Rodrigo's acting out because he's used to bouncing from one family to another, and his tough exterior is just a way to make repetitive abandonment easier for him. Slater was heartbroken by a breakup with his best friend, and while no one told him the truth, Noah was honest. Similarly, Blythe was wearing poorly done makeup to cover up her insecurities. The end of the film sees her facing her fear and outgrowing the celebrity obsession. Noah may not get all the answers about his life by the end of the movie, but he did face the truth about his relationship. He deserved to be treated better. A little bit of truth did a lot of good at the end, even though the heartfelt life lesson may seem a little forced and abrupt. Still, it almost made up for the poorly executed decisions the movie made about its characters. Interestingly enough, the reason why many people didn't like The Sitter was exactly the point of the movie. In a 2011 interview, Hill broke down the creative direction the movie took. The point of us making this movie was like, you really don't want this guy watching your kids, he admitted. They might die or worse. As a babysitter, Noah never acted or talked in a kid-appropriate way. We made like the punk rock, cool, crazy, insane version of the movie, and I think it's me with a bunch of kids, and I think it's as hardcore as you would want that to be, the actor shared. As a result, The Sitter